And we're back. Hey everybody, it's me, Ladipo Leonard. I am a gospel artist, homeschool mother of 4 and mother of 5. I actually started, I'm just back to help in the community once again for those who are virtual schooling, who are homeschooling, and those who are doing hybrid school options, and those who are just trying to find out what they want to do with everything that is going on now. The reason why I started this series is simple. I just wanted to give back to the community that gave to me. And so if I could help anyone during this time, that would be great, even if it's just a little bit. So that's what the series is about. It's about sowing seeds of exponential growth for the future. And I hope that this series has been able to be of assistance to you. And I've thought to myself, you know what? I don't want this to be something that I'm always ratting out at the mouth, because my concepts, my views, and the things that I would do for my children are not necessarily something that would work for everybody over the full spectrum of the homeschooling community. There may be a situation or instance that I'm not necessarily familiar with, so I try to bring people on who have different views and perspectives, who have different family dynamics, and can give their perspective and view from their experiences so that everyone can see the dynamic aspect of homeschooling. Could we go ahead and turn that down, everybody? So, Aisha, woo! It's so good to see you. Bianca is here. Now, before I bring her on, she only got 30 minutes with us. That's why I kind of tried to come on early. Yes, it's 6 o'clock on the dot. Okay, no. But Bianca is an amazing homeschool mother. I learned about her through Shiva. She was inside of her group that she had a long time in the past. She was another amazing homeschool mom with these homeschool mogul babies, okay? And basically, she does some amazing work with her children. She has a large family like me. It's good to see you. I hope that you enjoy it if you watch it. And I hope your kids are doing good in school if they're back. I know you just got out of Facebook jail. Hey, Delinda. Okay, so let me go ahead and invite her on. She's got 30 minutes with us here today, because she's got to, Bianca, are you on the computer? I think I can only add you if you are on the phone. So if you would possibly be able to jump on your phone for me. Oh, yay. Oh. Hey. If you could jump on your phone for me, I'd be exceptionally grateful. I'm looking cute. Yeah, well, I'm repping my city out here. This is my high school, Stars Mill High. The boys know we get crunk. Okay, but no, I really did come on here. If you could do that for me, Bianca, I would be extra grateful for you if you went on your phone so I can invite you to come in on the live, because I apparently can't invite you to come live if you're on the computer, which is something we found out over time. Okay, so hey, my lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is cool. Okay, anyway, sorry guys, y'all know I sing out here in these homeschool streets. While we're waiting for Bianca to switch to her phone, I am going to just go over some things that we're going to be talking about today. With Bianca, we're going to be discussing how she keeps her children engaged. Hey, Sharika, how are you doing? We're going to be talking about how she organizes her school day, the tools that she uses, and if there's any resources and tips that she has to help parents. Feel free to put your comments. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna put you on. Feel free to ask her anything in the comments below, and if she can, or if I can, we will, to the best of our ability. I'm trying not to say anything because it will mute me. It usually mutes me when I'm bringing people in, so I'm adding her now. She says she's on her phone, so if you can hear me, go ahead and drop your questions in the portion below, and we'll be able to get it popping. I guess popping. Man, I'm old school, y'all. Oh, it says we're still at here. I was like, yo, I can't hear nothing. Okay, I hear you now. Nothing.
Yes. How are you?
I am doing great. Can y'all see my face? Do I need to lower this or raise it up? Okay, great, good, because I can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay, you're perfection. Okay. Yes. Okay, so, Bianca, would you please introduce yourself for me?
All right. My name is Bianca Julian. I am a homeschooling mom of 4. I'm also a published author. I recently just released my 3rd poetry book. We live in Rhode Island, and we've been homeschooling for about 5-6 years now.
Awesome. So Bianca actually was a part of the group that I had joined, and she was one of the moms in there encouraging other parents on Facebook to really move forward and progress and to not be afraid to ask questions. So I'm happy that you're here with me today, and I know that you've got a lot of awesome things to do because your life is great. From my perspective, but I've seen you with your children, because I know, like you said, you're a published author. You do things in your life. You're extremely active. You work for yourself and you do things. And I know a lot of people have questions about how do you accomplish things for yourself in your own life when you have children and you're trying to teach them and do stuff. I know, like Aisha, she actually is a nurse and she has to leave the house. And so her children, what do you do? Because I know you do things and you're very active at your house.
So the first thing I do is make them aware of things that I'm doing. It could be a fitness goal that I'm trying to reach, which is currently right now. It could be me trying to publish my book, get everything in order for that. It could just be house chores. So the first thing I do is just make sure that they're aware and bring them in to let them know, like, hey, mommy has this going on. We're going to do this. And then afterwards, mommy's going to take her time to do that. And you're going to go do this. And it's also helpful because I have older children who are very mature and can take care of the 2 younger ones. So that is very helpful. Right. In the dynamic. But the first thing is just to make them aware. Is there's nothing wrong with letting them know, like, hey, mommy needs an hour to take a bath, or can you guys take a nap so that I can do this, or we're gonna run this errand first, then we'll go to the park, type of thing. So
right,
that's been major for me. It's just making them aware.
And I want to stress, I would call a veteran, because she's a homeschool veteran. She has created this dynamic for her family. She has created this this view for them so that they know these are the type of things that she's doing, that she has created expectations for her children. And as you continue along your homeschooling journey, you'll realize that those type of doors definitely will open up you more than ever before. And when you're first starting homeschooling, like when I was trying to get things that they don't normally do, like say, do these chores like this now while I'm doing this. It's going to be an icebreaker. You're going to have to do some things to break that ice to make sure that they realize that this is what I'm expecting of you. And that's why I said in your previous video, when you're getting the first day of school, one of the things you want to do is let them know your expectations, lay everything out, kind of like a syllabus. Let them know exactly what you're expecting to happen. And I would say kind of brush it into the Okay. What grades are your children? Or I guess I know grades are difficult in homeschooling because depending on where their level is on a specific subject. But if they were in public school, what grade would they be in?
If they were in public school, my oldest would be in 6th grade. My second oldest would be 3rd. My 3rd child would be starting kindergarten, and the little one would be like in preschool.
Okay, so 3rd, preschool, and 6th. Is that correct?
In 3rd grade, yep.
I think your mic might be getting covered. I'm not sure.
Mic.
It might be on the bottom of your phone. These awesome phones are so amazing.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
So, with that being the case, with you having all these different grade groups, how do you keep the younger children engaged in what they're supposed to doing, and also keeping the older children from getting distracted?
That's a very good question. That's something that's very challenging. But the older two, so the way we have it set up right now is the older two would do their independent work first. So that gives me time to pay more attention to the younger children. And then when it's time for me to transition to the older children, the younger children have other things to do, like coloring, or they'll have puzzles, or they have educational games on their iPads or on their phone, or I'll put on stories like that they have like on YouTube, or put on like educational videos and they're just singing and dancing. So I have it set up that way. But oftentimes everybody gets distracted and it's chaos, but majority of the time they're able to focus on what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, so basically understanding the dynamics of what you're going to do, and addressing your schedule accordingly. So like you said, you do the independent, and I do something similar. I have like my daughter's independent work, my oldest, so that I can work with my younger ones, and then I do online work for them so I can focus on her and things like that. So yes, I also do stuff like that, try to split that time up and give them that space. Do any of your children have things, like any of your children extra hyper, or maybe have anything that you have to be more attentive to?
I would say there's days where they're all extra active. And in those cases, we would just go outside. We just take a break, because it's just like, I'm not going to sit and try to stress myself out trying to get you to sit down and do something when you want to be active. So I try to, I guess you could say, go with the flow based on the energy level that day. So sometimes we'll have an easy day. We'll just do some drawing. We'll do like an experiment or something. If everybody's just like, we're not feeling it today. Or if they're just hyper or just really active, then we'll go outside. We'll just take a break. Outside. Yeah.
Right. And I want to remind everybody, if you have any questions for her, because I have younger children, she has older children. If you have a question, throw it in the comments below, because we are definitely here to answer the questions. And she's such a wealth of knowledge. And I know I'm asking her questions, but you can ask her questions as well. I have another question. I see that a lot of parents are like, man, my child, how are they going to, there's no PE classes. Oh, Shanika asked a question. She said, would you all say that independent work is necessarily review work, or could you all elaborate?
Independent work for us is not necessarily review work. Sometimes it is, if I notice that they're having a little bit more of a challenge of grasping a certain topic. But at this stage where we're kind of transitioning from homeschooling to unschooling, independent work is pretty much stuff that they want to actually learn about. So for instance, like my oldest, she wants to learn Spanish. So her independent work would be, she's on an app, learning her Spanish, saying her words, et cetera, et cetera. Or she's also into coding. So she has an app for that. So her independent work looks like just that. I mean, but sometimes, yes, it can't be review work. Other times, it's just something that they personally are interested in. So they'll automatically be engaged because of that.
Okay, so basically, based upon what it is that your child is doing. So right now you're doing a little bit of child-led You're doing child-led independent work. And then when the things that you all are really focusing on, you do, your core curriculum things you all do together possibly or somewhere else. Okay, that's actually really cool because that's teaching them to be responsible for their own desires. And so if you want something, to go after that and to attain that knowledge yourself, because, that I actually think that's an extremely good skill. It's like, this is what you want, so go after it. And that teaches that in them, and that makes them self-starters. And that's really important. For me, my independent work is usually, it's actually totally unrelated to anything that we're doing. It's like, okay, it's kind of almost like unit studies. Mm-hmm. It's just like, okay, I think that we should talk about health things, but I'm not doing a full lesson on that this year. Mm-hmm. So let me throw some health up in this independent work so you can study that stuff. Mm-hmm. I throw those things in there. If I see gaps in their work, if I see that they're having difficulty writing numbers or something, and you're like supposed to be in the 3rd grade, and I'm just like, okay, time to put a writing chart. Mine is usually for the gaps and also just things that'll get their minds cranked up for the day. My children tend to need things that get them excited about starting the day. They're like, whoa, Play-Doh in my morning basket. This is awesome. Yep. And my twins, they're like, what? I get to make a robot? Yeah. Yep. So,
we often have when you go to like Home Depot or Lowe's, they have these little kits that you can put together. So we have some of those. So they're like, yeah, I get to use a hammer today. I'm gonna bang this table.
Yeah, and she mentioned a great point. Yeah. Home Depot has the kits. And they're free. You go up there and you ask them for the kits. They have them every month. You can go in and do the in-person class, but I think right now nobody's really doing those. Yeah. And so I don't even think they're hosting them. So you just go and grab the kit and bring it home, and you can do it together. I think there's even like a hashtag for it on Instagram, so you can hashtag and just be a part of the community and everything. So there's options. There's a lot of options. Really, independent work is what you make it, and you look at what your child is doing and gear it to their needs. That's what I would say. I wanted to ask you another question, Bianca. I see that your children are constantly active. I see you work out with your children, you dance with your children, you have an amazing relationship with them. And how, as their teacher and principal and superintendent, nurse, and you enforce everything, how do you cultivate both the learning environment and the home environment? Because I know that there has to be some type of balance.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way I look at it is everything is a learning experience. Right now, our 5-year-old, he's learning to wash clothes, use the washer and dryer. So it's all a learning experience. And I feel like there's no part of my life that I want to keep secret. I kind of want them to be exposed to everything. So from workout to writing a book to starting a business to communicating with people, being creative, cleaning, cooking. I just want them to be involved in all of that so that they're well-rounded with different type of skills. And then certain skills they'll pick up more than others, but it's better that they are exposed to everything. So I think that's what I try to really do, because that's something that I wish that I had in my childhood, that I was exposed to different skills and different experiences. So I try to do that with them. And just make everything a learning experience.
Right. Now, I know this is something that people ask me constantly before COVID happened. So, but now if we have to frame it in the COVID mindset, now that COVID has happened and so many events and meeting ups and co-ops and things have been canceled, how are you going to help your children to get the social interaction that everybody's so afraid that they're
Wow, good question. So okay, there's several different parts to it. They socialize amongst each other because they're all different age groups. They still have communication with their cousins and god brothers, god sisters, so they still hang out from time to time. There's friends in the neighborhood that they are still playing with. My kids do karate, so they're meeting kids there still. And they also do online programs. Like my oldest, she's part of a summer program of teenagers where they're learning different skills. So those are the main ways that they're socializing. As also when we go out, they are the friendly kids. They like making friends with everybody everywhere. And then they have pen pals. So
Okay.
there's just so much that they are still involved with despite what's going on in the world.
So how did you get the pen pal thing started?
So the pen pal thing started was I got the idea from another homeschool mom. So I went on Facebook looking for groups that had pen pals for kids, and they found some. And then some of them worked out, some of them didn't. Like my oldest, she had her longest pen pal is about 3 years now. Was
That's wonderful.
Is a girl in Australia. And then she has pen pals down in Atlanta. And my other daughter has pen pals. I think it's Texas and somewhere else. But after we went through that group and it wasn't really successful, then I started a pen pal group for African American children because I noticed that there was a lot of us that are homeschooling, but we're not connected. So I figured, okay, maybe kids might be interested in pen pals. It improves their writing. They're talking to somebody likely their age. They're communicating. They're sharing information. So I had started a pen pal group, and then I kind of fell off of it. But they still have their pen pals that they're communicating with. But now it's like more like email. They have their phones now, so they're texting each other. So it's not really, the snail mail.
Right. But that's fine because the relationship was able to grow, so they were able to communicate faster and upgrade their technology. But that also is a skill set as well of understanding how upgrading a technology set can improve communication, which is something that businesses need to learn from 3,000 years ago. Hi, Gail. How are you doing? Good evening to you as well. This is Bianca, by the way. She's an amazing homeschool mother of 4. She has older children and younger children, and she's super cool. We only have her for 10 more minutes. But, so, you have been so amazing answering all of my questions. And do you have anything that you wanted to share with people in general that you want to expound on something?
I think there's been like several people who've reached out to me regarding homeschool and how to do it and things like that. So I think the first thing people should do is just do a little research about the rules and regulations in your state. And don't stress too much. I remember when I first started homeschool, I stressed it a lot, and it was like, you need to sit down and we need to finish these pages so we can complete this goal and this goal, not realizing that you have more control, you have more freedom, you can be as creative as you want. So that's one thing I really learned with homeschooling, is that just to be creative, there's so many resources that you can use, from YouTube to different websites to worksheets to workbooks to field trips to movies. There's just so much that I have used that is not typical to public school. So definitely you want to be informed. And I feel like you should also talk to your children. Ask them what do they want to learn about? What is their favorite subject? What are their least favorite subjects? And also you take an evaluation on yourself on what your knowledge base is. And if you know someone who maybe knows more about the ocean because your oldest wants to learn about the ocean, or you know someone who knows the language that you want your kids to learn. So just use all resources. Use all resources.
Yes.
There's no limit. There's no limit to the amount of resources. There's no limit to the amount of knowledge that your child would want to learn.
That's true.
So try not to limit yourself. Try not to box yourself in and think like I need to be just like the public school. It's like your homeschool is what you make it. And as long as your children are learning, they're having fun, they're engaged, and you see progression, not necessarily like, oh, they didn't learn their multiplication, so they're not progressing. They didn't do good. They can't go forward. But as long as you see some kind of progression, then you're on the right track. So be informed, be creative as possible, use all the resources. I mean, all of them. And then you can connect with other moms to see what they're doing. And sometimes what they're doing may work and sometimes it may not, but it's all a learning experience because, like I said, at the end of the day, homeschool is exactly what you make it, what you and your children make it. And the best thing is that it's fun and it's educational.
Yes, I'm going to jump in and say something to what you just said. So people thinking that you're like, something that can make you feel like you're not on the right track with your child when you're talking about progression.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're teaching your child something possibly out of order of the way that public school would possibly teach it. So one thing that I did with my daughter was I taught her the letter sounds before I taught her what the letter names were, because she wanted to learn to read first. And it was causing her confusion knowing the letter names, and the letter didn't make the sound A, it made the sound and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I taught her specifically the letter sounds. And so when people would show her a letter, she'd be like, that's the letters. And she'd be like, and so, but it helped her to read very quickly. And then, we did go over the names of the letters because spelling, you need to know that this is a letter. So she knows to ask, what sound does this letter make? It's the letter S. It makes the sound. But what's the name of this letter? It has a name. So everything has a name, sound. And that's how she associated my younger ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you 100%. Seeing their progress and not comparing yourself to the standards that other people have for your homeschool, because you know exactly where you're taking it and you know what your children are needing. You're just so awesome. I love you. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. How do you schedule? I guess this might be my last question. How do you schedule your kids, your family, your homeschool?
So right now, for, I guess you could say, learning purposes, like with worksheets and all that other stuff, it has to be early in the day because they do karate in the evening time. So typically we'll wake up and we'll be in school from like 9 to about 1 every day. Anything longer than that, we'll just tap into other things like home chores or them getting a nap before they go to karate. So that's the schedule right now as time-wise. But as far as everything that we do is different every day.
Okay. So you have a flexible schedule, and yours is you know what you're teaching, but instead of putting out a hard line schedule, you just ensure that you're hitting the points and making sure that it fits within the agenda of your family and the things that you're doing and the extracurriculars that they're doing for themselves that you set up. And I think that's amazing because, like you said, your child is also doing their independent work. The oldest is doing the independent work with Spanish, and that's what online.
It's an app, Duolingo. She uses that app. Have you heard of it?
Okay, Duolingo.
Yeah.
Duolingo is free, but there's also Mango. If you get it through your library, it's also free. So people can check that one out as well. I like it better than any other one, including Rosetta Stone. I like it better. But Duolingo is really, really good. It has a lot of gamification things, and it does all kinds of really great stuff. And they have the flashcard app and everything. So Duolingo is amazing. I know you got to go because your time here with us is literally 2 minutes in. And so I just want to spend this time to say thank you. What's the name of your book?
So I have 3 books. The first book is called Lost in My Thoughts, Volume 1, Me. So these are poems that pretty much give a reflection about me and some of the things I went through. The second book is Lost in My Thoughts, Volume 2, Love. This one's all love poems, all love poems. And the third one is Lost in My Thoughts, Volume 3, Post Notes. So this one is pretty much poetry mixed with spiritual messages.
Okay, well, and you can find that one on Amazon?
Yes, Amazon, or if you want an autographed copy, you can private message me.
Oh, private message, yay. And you know what I like to do with authors? I like to ask if they'll provide like pictures for kids that are autographed with their books so that I can have my kids like learn more about the author. But I know you've got to go because your family has karate.
Yeah.
And so you'll be immensely blessed. I'm gonna stay on here with all you guys and I'm gonna go over some things that I'm doing. Hey Courtney, how are you doing? I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
It was great having you, Bianca. It was such an awesome time with Bianca. She was such a wealth of information. And I'm so grateful that she came on and spent that time with us. And even though she had only 30 minutes to spare, because she is very busy, like we saw, she is a published author. She is working with her 4 children. Other things that she gets out and accomplishes all kinds of stuff. And her family's very busy. I follow them on Instagram, and so I know for a fact that they're constantly doing things. If you have any questions for me, I would love to use this remaining time to answer any of your questions regarding virtual schooling, homeschooling, or a hybrid between the two, where you're having to go in of school and come out of school sometimes. I don't mind answering your questions to the best of my ability, and just know yes, Courtney, hey, if I can't answer your question, I'll do the best that I can to find someone who can answer your question later on in the series. So just if you have one, let me know below. I do want you to know that it does have a slight bit of delay when the questions pop up to me, so I won't see them exactly when you do it. It'll come up just a little bit slower, so please don't think that I'm ignoring your question when it comes up once you post it. Hey, my sister Yeswin's here. You made it. I'm very happy to see you. Yeswin, would you like to jump on with me, or Shanika, Courtney? Does anybody want to jump on with me? Because you know what? I think that everybody here has had some amazing situations happen. My sister is having to do virtual schooling when she's setting up a actual homeschool space within her home so that she can teach her child and also do the work that is necessary for the lessons in the schoolhouse, because her child cannot go into the physical public school. And so if you want to go live with me, let me know. If you have a question, bring it down the bottom. I would love to answer them for you. I wanted to show from what I have some of the things that I like to do with my children. So say you have an idea for your homeschool or your virtual school or anything. You have an idea, you're thinking of a concept, and you're just to yourself, I don't know how to make this happen for my children. I don't know how to do this. I don't think I'm skilled enough and I'm in enough of a process to be able to make this happen for my child. Well, just dump your brain out on whatever paper that you have. And this is something that I do. I literally just dump everything out on the paper, and I'll write the same thing over on different sheets and get it more and more organized over time. I'll just consolidate it. I'll consolidate it over and over time. And those ideas, these little jumble ideas that are on paper, after I've consolidated it several times, will turn into things like this. So I know this isn't as nice as I wanted to be, but I kind of rushed it together when I did it. But this is something that I have put together. I put together a book club because I wanted my daughter to read more. And something that I noticed that would help her read more is to read with others. So I started a book club with my local community, and it's something that you can do as well. Or you can even prompt others within your community to do something like that. Like I said previously, there's strength in numbers, and if you find your local area homeschool groups through Facebook, you can find people who can come together with you. Oh, Shanika said, I'm gonna answer your question in just a second. All I'm gonna say is, is that those little jumble ideas came out into a book just like this, and I was able to print it out, and it came out really neat. You can do anything for your children. You can make anything happen. I'll go over this book maybe a little bit more later, but let's answer Shanika's question. She said, I hope your third trimester goes better. Oh, and congratulations once again on being pregnant. Okay, she said,